What feels like forever for this one, Joe. After the roster change went down and we saw them into Division B, I was like, we gotta wait. We gotta wait an extra couple weeks before this matchup, but now we're finally here, buddy.
No, we definitely are. Obviously, those two guys, you know, you Formal, Scump. It's what a lot of the talk is around. I mean, yes, this is just another league match, but these guys want to beat the hell out of each other.
Absolutely. There is no one that can tell me otherwise. Here we go. Let's kick it off. Game one, Luminosity versus OpTic Gaming. Kicking it off with OpTic. Let's get right to an Astro Gaming listen-in.
The top left. Full left, dead. Nice.
Top right.
Full left. Has me weak.
I need this fire.
I got tail. Slow left.
White steps.
Left, slow left.
White steps dead.
Nice.
I came that back. I'm back. He'll one shot. One shot, Matt. I got him. I'm pushing him. Go.
I have time.
Alright.
I'm watching rails.
I got it, Ian. I got it.
Okay.
I got one mid lane. Dirt. I'm pushing bridge.
Jerry going white.
I'm watching your left.
Guys, they could be rails.
I have rails.
Under me. I need help.
I'm
I have
holding
one left. Watch your high. I need your rails.
I absolutely don't. One shot, Jenny.
Start rotating.
Two high white. Two up white.
Two on low left. I went through low left. I'm behind him. Nice three.
Gold.
I got to the back. Give me this time.
Yeah, I'm going through gold.
They stun me. They're
One's ladder. Gold.
Outside. You went low jails.
Kill for me. I'm weak. Nothing barrel.
Outside. Weak.
Ladder.
I'm gonna spawn.
I got ladder.
There's two in the back of me, guys. There's two in the back of me.
Oh, shit.
Wait, stone step set.
Spawn.
Alright, there's two of them in the back.
Corner bricks, you're alone. Gold got me.
Yo, Jenny, nade hold me.
That's on cave.
Top rails. Still two on me in the back. I got John low left.
Good shit.
There's one more in the back. J-Cap back.
I'm nade hill.
We can hill.
J-Cap back green, I spawn located. I need a hill.
Hold on. I'm going ladder.
Go rock got me. I got killed on hill.
Oh, hill got me.
He's
sort of weak. He's on the barrel.
Spawn cave. I spawn cave.
I want the back.
I got around right.
Keep slaying.
Front hill and dirt last two.
We should play new.
We spawn rocks. I'm gonna hold.
I'm watching ghosts. Rails one shot. Rails dead. Nice.
An incredible opening from OpTic Gaming. They're up 26 right now, and yeah, Joe, you could hear the energy and the passion from the first second.
No, definitely so. A great start, and you have to point it out. Number one right now, Formal 0-6. Not the best start, but they've recovered, right? What seemed to be a very scary OpTic Gaming off that break. Yeah, I mean, they have 45 points off the opening, but LG have recovered a little bit. But now you have to talk about OpTic Gaming. Look at that mini-map. They have completely out-rotated Luminosity over towards that Castle Road hill. We always talk about it, Castle Road, the #1 money hill for this game. You can earn so much time, and when you have Crim6 in this position, it makes it so difficult to get across. The guy in the hill right now, Octane, he's just going to be hanging out. You have Crim6 starting off 8-3. The slaying is there for OpTic. Are they able to hold him?
So far, so good. Formal's going to find his first kill there as he pushes up. I think you feel fortunate you're in the game right now, considering the slow start from Formal, and, well, no one's really going off on LG right now, but still very much in the game. Slacked and Cubby trying to maybe find the opening. That's 3 kills coming in, 3 spawning in the back now. This is a chance for Luminosity to get into key positions and at least try and maybe contest a little bit of this hardpoint.
Yeah, just stay alive. Once again, right? Just keep OpTic Gaming from winning, but you have to point it out once again. LG laid on rotations. They hit this last 20 seconds. You can see you have Octane, you have Scump already towards that low turret. And then Slack, though, he's working for Streaks. He hits saying down my methods. Big kill from him. And we'll see, how can OpTic hold this turret hill? This has been a very good hill for a lot of teams, but Formal, he gets shots into Scump, but back and forth as you have a big pinch coming in here from John. He's able to find one on the Scump, yet Methods knows the pressure's there, and John, he may have caused enough ruckus for this Luminosity team to break on in.
I think he got him weak enough that Formal was able to pick up the kill, and then Slacked with a nice 2-piece there inside of the hard point. Trailing by 45 right now and trying to fight back through turret. It's Slack that's going to be dealing with the pressure coming in from Cave. Methods able to pick him, but J-Cap still separate in the hard point. Nice shots from Cap there to secure some more time. Re-peaks, though, and Trim gonna get the better of him.
Yeah, he knew the pressure was coming from the middle. That was Scump, who was able to work middle with, I believe that's Octane, so they did a good job. They found John top mid. That allows them to break. They're gonna get these final 15 seconds or so. Crim6 might get picked off here by Formal. Formal is going up, but he's just gonna leave it. So you're gonna have about a 60-point lead here for OpTic Gaming. We're going to go back to Pit Center, and remember, when we were here at the Pit Center at the beginning of the game, they dominated.
And it's getting worse and worse when you think about it statistically. Yeah, Formal's put up 5 kills, but you take a look at someone like John, too, who needs to go off 6 and 13. The opposite production from Crim6, who was just 13 and 6 before that death. You're getting advantage at the AR position, the sub position, everywhere across the board right now for OpTic Gaming, and it's starting to show in the lead. The only real positive thing you have for LG is I guess you haven't given up any streaks yet to this OpTic team.
Just one
Ego
glide
goes
bomb.
up, and it gets ugly. Yeah, one glide bomb, but it could be worse. It certainly could be worse when you take a look at the overall KDs of everybody involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting worse, though. It's getting out of hand. Once again, you have 30 seconds left. OpTic have a perfect hold at pit center. Methods, he's holding this spiral area. You have Octane on the hill, and that's, I think, what's so good for OpTic is Octane is a guy who likes to sit on the hill, just eat up time, go double positive, make it so difficult, and what that allows Scump and Crim6 to do is roam, play your game, go out and slay. That's what we didn't have in the old OpTic Gaming roster. It just felt like the objective or in the slaying work, it just wasn't there. There was always confusion of who was supposed to be doing what, but with this roster, you can just tell everything's going well.
Well, we heard the comms earlier from OpTic Gaming. They were fired up. They were dominated. But it's LG now. They're trying to bring it back down 100. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen in with Luminosity.
It should be spawning out. I'm gonna cut him off.
Respawning.
Did you get them? I need your front. I need your front. I need your front.
Also.
Here.
Did you get time?
Yeah, go.
Someone have lights and dirt.
Absolute
John, look, you're going. I'm pushing right.
top spiral.
They could be my cave. They could be my cave.
Give me cave. I'm helping you right now. Stay up.
Yeah, they needed me. They could be my
Lights came out. Methods came out. One shot. Nice, good job.
Wait, look for one. He's gold, I'm pretty sure.
This 30.
He's inside gold then. I'm coming top. I'm coming right with you.
I'm gonna go cave.
It could be here.
Keeping time.
It could be gold also. They're gonna be on new. So I get up top. He's top red cap left side. Top out, I'm dead. Top out, got me. Top out, and top left. I stay up mid, just so you're trying. Alright, we can still get a kill here and spawn him out. John, go.
Cave with me. On one. I'm in cave.
Got him cave. Take your time.
He's gonna spawn out. He's gonna spawn out. He's going to.
No, he stopped red. I didn't. There you go.
Seth one shot the old. Seth absolute the old. He's gonna go gold.
Yeah, watch it go.
Top red, one hit. Top red, absolute guys. Spawn rocks. Seth one gold. Top red and old.
Yeah, Sam's on the hill. One shot.
I spawn at rocks. I'm soaking hill.
Where's Seth?
Crim's watching cave.
We can the hill, don't nade.
Moving rails quick.
Seth was mid map.
I don't know where Seth went.
Low on the hill, go close, white, bottom white.
He's one shot. He got in my way.
Got him. Nice.
Alright, come on, let's push up.
Okay, one's gonna be red.
Yo, low key, I'm on flank cave. I'm on flank cave, alright? Take your time. Go middle.
One top
I'm flanking cave.
Behind me red. Crim's counter her head with a bullet.
I'm holding red. John, I'm waiting.
Coming to you.
Red dead. I'm absolute John. We can the hill, do it.
No, he was watching cave. He came out. He's red.
Top out. Weak, one in hill weak. Two in hill weak. Closet got me. There's two in hill really weak.
We're there.
We got it right there.
Yeah, just go.
The league continues to grow for OpTic Gaming. Joe, for you, anything that stood out in that listening with Luminosity?
They seem frantic, right? Like, I think when you listen to OpTic, it's just cool, calm, collected, sort of what we expect with a green wall roster,
could
right?
Be nerves a little bit?
I think it definitely could be. You saw some, John was taking some shots going left to right. And then once again, they just seem uncomfortable right now. I don't know if it's the map pick, if it's Gibraltar, whatever it is. You can definitely tell that some with LG's up, and you can tell on the scoreboard, right? Slack the only one positive. I think that's huge for them because he's a guy who has to play well in this series. You heard them talking on the desk. Slack and John have owned OpTic Gaming all along, but right now, OpTic just 29 points away from winning this map number 1.
And Octane close to tacking some streaks on. What a performance from him. 20 and 9 on a 6th streak. 2.5 minutes in the hard point. Look at that compared to everybody else in the lobby. Octane showing why he is one of the world's best.
And again, what that does for you as a submachine gun player, if you're Crim or Scump, you don't have to pick that up as Octane finds 3, finds another one with a grenade, everything going well for him. He has a 2.4 KD. If you're a Green Wall fan, you are happy he is on this roster. Just 8 more seconds needed. But again, look, Scump can just roam freely. He can pick up cuts. Him and Crim are going to be so tough to deal with on a Gibraltar map. And obviously, again, when you talk about Gibraltar, 2 AR setup, Octane and Methods, it has to favor those two.
Well, the streaks continue to come in, and there's the final second. Octane, he's hyped. Statistically, a phenom in that game 1, putting up LeBron-like numbers. Unreal performance, man.
Yeah,
Unreal.
I would love to know what he just said, but yeah, he was just dominating. What, 26
right,
and 10?
Can someone shoot back at me, please?
Yeah, like, yeah.
And you know, we talked about, you know, Formal leaving, obviously OpTic, and maybe some of the bad blood there, and that went down. But we didn't highlight the fact as much like Octane is going against his former teammates. He said kind of in that video feature before map 1 that he wished he could have handled a little bit better. So that makes me think maybe it wasn't the cleanest of breaks. So that probably felt very good for him. Part of the reason he's on his feet.
I mean, definitely so. Obviously, a great performance, but I just think it's a good feeling for him because he's going up against OpTic's main AR.
Yeah.
And again, for a very long time, it was who's the better AR in the world.
All of last year. All of last year was Octane versus
Octane. Yeah, and you know, Formal came out on top of a good amount.
Not in that map one.
Definitely not, but I imagine that was probably OpTic's map pick. You know, if you look at Gibraltar, again, it's just a map that makes sense for them when you have subs like Crim and Scump who can roam the map. And again, Octane, he's just hanging out. 2 minutes, 40 seconds in the hill. You know, puts up that kid. Methods also had a stellar game. All 4 players of this OpTic roster played great in the hardpoint, but you have to keep that up in the, you know, throughout the entire series.
We'll see if Crim6 and company can keep it going. Jess actually had a chance to speak with Crim before this match. Let's hear his thoughts.
Thanks, Clint. Yeah, and before this match, Crim6 seemed very, very confident. He said that they were feeling good. He kind of reiterated what we all know, which was, of course, that this is a big rivalry match. But despite that, he seemed very cool, calm, and collected. And he said, you know, we should be able to take this as long as we play smart, play our game. And he said that the main thing is that they need to make sure to get their rotations down on Hardpoint, which, as you can see, has been going very well for them so far. So let's see if they can keep it up for the rest of this match. Clint, back over to you.
Thanks, Jess. And yeah, I'm sure there was a lot to feel confident about with this team. Obviously, they've been performing well. They're excited for this new squad. But it just feels like when we watched them against, let's say, maybe Tainted Minds yesterday, and they're playing Hardpoint, like I feel like I didn't see that as structured of a result as this against a better team in Luminosity, which just proves, I think, you just heard it from the opening second of that listen and how fired up they are, man.
No, I mean, that's just it. I think OpTic, they didn't have the toughest series throughout this week. They played Unilad, they played Tainted Minds. They probably should have went to a Game 5 with Unilad, but, you know, that didn't happen. It's made a couple of great plays, but, yeah, we're going to go to a Valkyrie Search and Destroy. And for OpTic, this is obviously something they haven't played this week. They've only played 2 St. Marie, you know, S&Ds. That's all we've seen it on. We've obviously talked a lot how, their Search and Destroy has looked great, but we've only seen it twice, and it was on the same map, so we'll see now how their teamwork will be on this Valkyrie S&D. You know, in LG, this is always one of their go-tos. It has been even since the former roster.
Well, yeah, think about Stage 1. They lost it several times when they first started putting time into it, but they're one of the times that, well, one of the teams that were ahead when you took a look at the match count. They were able to put time into Valkyrie before a lot of other teams were able to, at least in that scale in a pro league. Yeah. And they got good at it quickly. But now you have a difference, obviously, with Octane versus Formal, and we know how good Octane's been statistically in Search and Destroy so far this year. He's been a monster. What can Formal do to fill those shoes?
I mean, they just have to play their game, right? I don't think there's anything that Octane can do that Formal can't, and vice versa. Like, they're just both that talented. I think it's the guys around them. If they can get to them their positions to put up stats like we just saw, then it's going to happen. It'll come to those guys. But yet, I mean, we talked about LG. I mean, OpTic now has all of LG strats because Octane's on the team.
It's true. It's very, very true. And it goes both ways for these squads. We're getting ready to hop into map 2 in just a second here. Sorry for the delay, guys. But we should be ready to go momentarily. Who are you favoring here? Or is it just too tough to call with... You heard what Nameless said. He's like, throw all the stats out the window.
Yeah, I think there was 2 ways you could look at this match. It was either going to be a 3-0 from either side. Like, one team was just going to be so fired up, or it was going to be back and forth. And I think after that game 1, you have to favor OpTic just in such an important way. Again, they seem so calm. Everybody was playing well. But LG, they already had one reverse sweep this week, so we can never count them out.
Here we go. It's going to be LG on offense first, but we're starting it off with Octane as he had a monster game 1. We'll switch off him quickly, though, as he'll be watching the B site. The pressure seems to be coming in towards A. A 4-man hit now from Luminosity.
Yeah, JCap got around that number 1. They didn't pick up that middle street. Number 7, that was Methods. He decided to go towards that operations bunker, right towards that elbow. That means middle of the street was open. JCap hit it. They swarm on in. 4 versus 2 now. Make it a 2 versus 2 just like that, but a good trade from John. Now 1v2, they know where Octane is.
And he can absolutely clutch this. 35 seconds on the clock. Going up against former teammates. And John and Slacked.
You see how quickly John reacted as well. Got right next to him. Made sure they were in training position, but once again, Slacked. So weak. He pre-fires a corner. A good first round for LG.
Yeah.
That's big.
They handled the 2v1 the way they should. You know, nobody over peaking, nobody over challenging. Slack gets down on his belly a couple times, so he's very weak in that one. And yeah, I think winning that first round's got to be big, especially with how lopsided that game 1 was.
Yeah, definitely so. Just sort of get into your rhythm, get into your game strategy. And you know, once again, if there's one highlight from game 1 for LG, it's Slack, the way he performed. He's like a guy, to me, that's sort of like attached, right? He lives for these moments like this. We always talk about attached, like side stations and whatnot.
Yeah.
Doesn't perform to the best, but once it's up against teams like OpTic, he always seems to step up. I think Slack's very similar in that role.
Well, he's getting into that A site quickly. Formal and, kind of Octane's position on the other side, playing here at B, and they want to take it to him. They want to take it to him. He's so weak in the corner with nades. Another one over the top is coming through. Doesn't connect, and he's going to find the first kill. Will get traded out, though, quickly. So site control to OpTic Gaming. Krim getting the bomb down. Now on Luminosity, a 3-on-3 retake.
Yeah, but for Formal, that was his job. At least find one kill. If you're going to go down, take one down with you to make it a 3 versus 3. You see that retake. OpTic very close together. JCap, he throws a good nade on a Krim. That's going to let him know he's there. Pre-fires the corner. Nice shots by Cap. John, now it's his turn. He's going to run by this guy, though. Doesn't check the corner. Makes it a 2 versus 2.
Now 25 seconds on the clock. Slacked. Inching forward. Pre-fires the edge, but there's another one ready and waiting. And OpTic play it perfectly there from the post plant. I mean, other than Krim kind of peeking after that nade connects with him, they're flawless from then on.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that play from John. I think as soon as Cap gets the first kill on the bomb, that gives you positioning to move up. John needs to wait. He has to wait for the other two to engage. As soon as that happens, that's when the flank comes in. I think he went a little bit too fast there. Could have timed it a little bit differently. Allow your teammates to help you out. Instead, he takes a one-on-one, doesn't win it.
Now tied up at 1 apiece. Shot of the Luminosity squad kind of talking through strategies right now. Slack will be your bomb carrier heading into this one. You see Methods 4-on-1 for OpTic Gaming, has 3 kills in a row. We'll keep an eye on that throughout this round. See if maybe he can find more kills. Now, you mentioned that he sort of let somebody get by in JCap in their first round on defense.
Yeah, but there's the switch. You can see where Krim is now. You know, they're not playing inside the A site. They're actually giving it up, which a lot of teams don't do. Maybe they know, though, that Luminosity loves to push that elbow. Scump, though, he was playing it right behind that barrel. There's a smoke. Maybe the LG guys try to get across. That's John and JCap. But look at the other side of the map. Look at this. Formal is playing a bit of a late flank right here. This will open up the B site, but Methods, he takes down John. Just a bit too spread out here. Nice shots by Methods as he's on a 5 spree.
Streak continues, and now it's on Formal in a 1v3.
He was spotted as well. Yeah, he was spotted. You heard Crim6 from the main stage calling it out. There we go. He's in the taking out. A good defense there from OpTic.
Back-to-back rounds from OpTic, improving on their first round slip on defense. You'll see the bronze star here for Scump.
I mean, if OpTic are inside that A site there, that probably works out perfectly, because what ends up happening then is Formal hits that B site. The other LG members go all the way around through Operation Bunker, and they kind of meet towards B. Instead, though, they played so far on the outer perimeter of A, they just gets countered.
What can OpTic do on offense this time? Still keeping an eye on Methods as he's getting closer and closer to streaks here. Great game 1, followed up by a spectacular game 2 thus far. But still, a long ways to go.
Yeah, very similar defense as well, though, from LG. They stack the B site. They send 3. JCap just needs to stay alive as OpTic. They're going to push towards his bunker. A lot of pressure on Octane to at least find one. He's going to have some pressure on him. He knows it could be coming as well. You can see him playing the back. He spots John. Where's the trade, though? Where is the trade? Formal able to do it. It's now a 2v3, though, as JCap. He got taken down by Methods. Let's go to Methods. Yeah, just 1 kill away from streaks. Plus, he has the bomb. The game plan now is let him plant it, right? Or find him an easy kill. Even a glide bomb just to open up that map. Slack, though, able to win that 1 versus Krim.
Now we got a 2v2 here.
Yeah.
Can Methods find this killer of the plant, though? So the question, they're moving this towards B, and you can see the presence from Luminosity on that site. Formal and Slacked, ready to go.
He might have saw his ankle.
For the way he's playing it.
I think he saw Scump, but I don't know if he saw this player. No, he was so focused on Scump. Didn't think about Methods. Now it's informal, 1 versus 2. Not able to win it. That's 3 rounds in a row for OpTic.
3 in a row, plus you get a glide bomb on Methods. They take over in the 2v2.
I was just saying, I don't know if he got that last kill.
No, Scump. Yeah, he flies forward, able to catch him. But well done by Scump and Methods. Is now they're starting to run away with the game 2, just like they did the game 1.
Yeah, and once again, I think Slack just thought both players went inside. That second player in Methods checks the corner. It's a great job from him to pick that up. Because LG, it seemed like they had all the information in the world there in that 2 versus 2. They knew exactly where they were going.
7 streak now for Methods, Joe. Wants to pick up anything that he can. Scump, though, going to get in to the A side. Trying to back him up with nades for now. He's got Crim6 looking over him as well with the bar.
And LG go back to their first round strat. You see JCap trying to inch toward the middle of the street, but guess what? OpTic, they made the adjustments. They have 2 players there in Crim6 and Octane. They're trying to get inside A. Crim6, oh yeah, that's unfortunate. Almost finishes one, not able to, but Scump does trade it. John now makes it a 3v3.
Nice job there, working together as Octane finds 2 kills, 4 in a row, smiles on the faces of OpTic Gaming.
I think he gets 3 right here. Yeah, he does.
Oh, I didn't realize he got the final one. I think it was 2 different players kind of baited for him there, and he was able to find the kills. But that's something we talked about with Octane and Respawn and Search for a long time. Remember that stat from Luminosity where it's like the assist numbers that you had for the 3 other players?
Yeah.
And then him just finding the kills? He is a magician when it comes to using his other teammates to make those plays. And well, if there's one player you're going to rely on to come up with it, it's Octane. Look at that 3 streak for him. 3 streak for Scump, 7 in a row for Methods, 4-1 scoreline advantage for OpTic. Everything going their way, and you still have the glide bomb.
It seems like LG could know there's a B hit on the horizon. You could see 3 players stacked towards that area, 3 for OpTic. Glide bomb on in. It's only to see JCap. He has no idea where the rest are. Can't find that window. That's going to allow them to push up towards B, but you have Formal on that barrel. He's going to spot Scump. Scump's going to back on down. Nade on in. But nades from LG to follow up. So LG has, once again, all the information, but there's a first blood. Nice coordinated nades on the Formal.
John, though, evens it up at 3 apiece. You still have JCap kind of patrolling that mid-street. Scump trying to watch for him. Might have just spotted him for a moment. But a nade does come in. That probably connected with at least 2 of the members there of OpTic Gaming. That's going to push Methods now back to get in a spot inside of school. 30 seconds on the clock. They're still trying to push this forward, but no one able to clear John out yet of the kind of the power position here on this B site.
And let's see, OpTic's waiting for Methods. Methods is the key guy right now. Oh, almost finds a pick. Instead, it's JCap and Slacks who are able to find one now. Methods in a 1 versus 2. Still has time to plant. Just 12 seconds left, but once again, LG in 1v2 is playing this very smart, just getting together, not giving him any chance. I'd run now. Yeah, there we go. Methods gonna back away. He's still close to streaks.
I feel like he's been working on these streaks forever.
Yeah, 2 rounds, 2 or 3 rounds. Yeah. Stop.
He hasn't died in so long.
Yeah, but they stopped the momentum, right? That was getting way out of hand, way too quickly. So a big round win for Luminosity.
Yeah, a must-win round. They needed that desperately with how OpTic was running away from it, running away with it. They're not running away from their victory. That'd just be silly. Run towards it.
Yes, they are sprinting.
All right. Round number 7 underway. Formal opens it up with a nice headshot onto the former teammate in Scump. Now a 4-on-3 for Luminosity. They've actually got 1 more first blood throughout this one, just having trouble turning into victories, and this is a big reason why. Suddenly a 2 versus 2 after getting the opening advantage, and it wasn't traded quickly. Methods with the bar, nice shots.
John's got to win, and there we go. Just one-on-one individual gunfights OpTic are able to take. If John wins that, who knows how the rounds played out, but Formal, he finds the first blood. He gives up the flank. Octane's able to work it. He finds a good timing on Formal, wins that one, and then he's able to find Slack for that bronze star.
Octane having one hell of a series. We'll see if OpTic Gaming can close it out here. Wow. Just hasn't been all that close thus far. No. The battle of the juggernauts we were hoping for.
And that's sometimes what happens,
that's
right?
True. Yeah, very true.
Just some of the most anticipated games.
You and I have been on the been on that side of it many, many times as we're casting it. Scump, first blood. Control early as JCap gets eliminated. Methods here to work with him. Has bomb in hand. You still have John inside of the site.
That's so odd to me. JCap didn't even use the barrels. Like, there's a barrel play position right there. He's like, I don't know if he's trying to play an off angle, whatever it is. But Octane finds another one on the John. It's just the opening duels. Like the duels.
The newcomers, Joe, have 19 kills.
And that's what we talked about with the S&D. Like, how these two can improve. Their 2 stats over this year in Search and Destroy were absolutely ridiculous. And that's where OpTic was struggling.
That is it.
There you go. Just like that, a 6-2 victory for OpTic Gaming to give them a 2-0 lead.
They continue to look impressive in this series. They continue to look impressive in Search and Destroy. And that I mean, you think about one thing that we always talked about, you know, the former OpTic Dynasty. We talk about that team, their ability to win one-on-one fights and the skill they had in that squad is a reason they could beat or hang with anyone when they're playing well. Now you add 2 guys that you're watching take every one-on-one fight they're almost winning. Every time we're with Methods or Octane, that Search and Destroy, they're winning those battles.
And we were even talking to Teep as well about Search, and he said, yeah, I got 2 guys who want to listen to me now, so everything is a lot better.
Oh, well, it's probably nice for Teep when we don't have teammates that want to slap each other. As it stands, OpTic looking strong, up 2-0. But is this map 3 where the series starts for Luminosity? We'll find out after this quick break. OpTic Gaming up 2-0. They are in cruise control right now over Luminosity. I'll tell you what, Octane has been a big part of that. A monster game one, what, 29-10? 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the hard point. And then the scuff play of the game to close out the search and destroy. Octane is a bad man.
No, he definitely is. Obviously, you know, you saw what we were watching. It was different point of views, but the pressure was on his teammates. He just peeks out, finds 3 kills, doesn't miss a bullet. An easy cleanup for a guy like Octane, and, well, that gave OpTic Gaming really the map lead. And once again, Methods and Octane, those two played so well in that search and destroy. But here we go. We saw Luminosity do it earlier this week. They're able to really reverse teams. They've done it already. And we always talked about sort of the old OpTic roster. You have to push the series, you know, win some maps, put some pressure on them. We'll see if LG can do that here.
Well, here we go. Ardennes Forest CTF. Methods posted up near cave right now. So you have to deal with Formal at wood wall. He's got some help from Fire Alley as well. Octane peeks out though and will get taken out, but that's what's nice about having Methods here. How nice is this on a map like Ardennes Forest to have players like Methods and Octane on the same team?
I think we just saw it. Like Gibraltar is so similar, right? Anytime you can force sort of a double AR setup on a map, I think OpTic's going to do it. So I think they're very comfortable with this map set just because of that duo. And then once again, you can't talk enough about their sub pressure with Scump and Crim. And Crim is going to try and work this ice elbow, see if he finds anything. Methods is in the middle of the map, and that just allows Crim, and he might have found a timing. There's one player watching it. That's JCap. Knew that was an opening. Good communication right there from Luminosity.
LG starting to work their way up ruins. Formal's the lead man, runs into one. The hipfire connects on a couple of bullets, but Scump will get the better of him and back down. The next guys up will be JCap and Slack. There's the kill onto Scump. As they pressure through ruins, though, the pressure going to be coming to them through ice. So Formal off the spawn is going to have to deal with Octane and Methods. The two AR phenoms coming in from OpTic Gaming. One down, I believe, spotted the head of the second. No, he didn't actually see him. So Methods is able to take that gunfight and somehow stay alive, despite the fact that John's trying to pepper him from range with the PPS-8.
I was going to say, John takes that gunfight. On the other side of the map, you had Slack to push up towards the bunker. He wasn't able to find anything, but good defense from LG. It's their turn now to put some pressure on OpTic. John, though, gets cut down from Octane. So we're going to see both teams towards that middle of the map. You have Formal on the wood wall, and there we go. Finds 2. Nice shots from him. Seems like he's starting to warm up a bit. There we go. 3 down. The last player left, Methods. How many players can he find? He's able to find 1, but that's just it. And you see where the OpTic spawns are. Very far away towards Bell. This is an opportunity for Luminosity.
And you see that nade go deep for Formal. That's the information they need to know no one's spawning in the back. Everybody is Bell, but Formal can't win that first gunfight. It's Octane that gets the better of them. They still haven't been able to touch the flag, but the pressure is still here. It's Slack and Cap trying to work together, but Crim with the flank. And the pressure from Luminosity is gone.
Yeah, Cap, as soon as he spawns towards cabin side, backs up to make sure nobody overextended from OpTic Gaming.
Wow.
Crim 6. Yeah, he's on a 4 spree at 6 and 4. He was able to flank through that middle fire alley, flank the guys in bunker, and now it's just like that. It's OpTic. Look at that spread right across the map. They're going to try and push through this ruin side. Scump pushes up. Methods, some nice love tapping right there. Slack, though, able to find him.
Where do you think this is going to start to open up? Like a major mistake from one of these teams, a streak kerned? Like
yeah, it's not going to be a mistake. I don't think it's going to be a mistake from either. You have JCap on the side of LG. He's going to make sure they don't make a mistake. And it seems like they're playing pretty conservative. Every time they sort of spawn up, someone's just wrapping back to the base. Yeah, I think it's going to be just a ridiculous play from one of these players, which we talked about. There's so many playmakers on both sides.
Well, we get right back over to Crim6, who's got 5 in a row, is getting close to streak, so it might be the opening. But JCap wins a key gunfight. The rest of the kills, though, going the way of OpTic Gaming. Methods starting to push up mid-map. He pushes Formal back into cabin and then guns him. Scump's grenade finds JCap as well, and now it's 2 players coming off a spawn for Luminosity, a chance for OpTic Gaming to get a firm control of the map.
But you can see what the teams are doing on both sides. OpTic, they're making sure they have cabin control. LG, you can see how much pressure they're starting on ruins. They know that's where the attacks come from both teams, but this is the first real chance. 2 go down now. Octane, he pushes up, he gets taken down, but there's the flank from Methods. The spawns are in. Formal, a couple of clutch kills from him. He's gonna pre-fire that with a pistol. And there we go. LG cleaning up once again.
Formal and Slack find 2 kills there, and it's enough to slow it down. Now John can get into an aggressive position here.
He's at a one-on-one.
He's trying to fly straight to the back, but that's not a one-on-one you want to take.
No, not against Octane. He's gonna back down up. Slack, once again, making sure no pressure towards ruins, takes care of Scump.
It's like a little game of tug-of-war here.
Yeah.
You see the map control shifting back and forth for these 2 teams. As Formal wins a gunfight, that'll allow them to get a little bit of pressure here towards bunker.
No,
working with Slack right now.
That's unfortunate. That's just a gun floating in the air.
And not only that does it surprise me he sees the gun, but then he puts shots in the Slack as
that gun is still there. Like, that is the haunted PVSH. Poor Formal, that sucks. But anyways, there we go. John, well, he throws a nice grenade and Octane catches it. Because once again, Scump me.
That's funny. I was so confused too. I saw him like, what? I don't see anyone on the mini-map. Like, what's he shooting at? Who's there?
It's a ghost. The ghost of Ardennes Forest. Slack, he's kind of the only guy for either team who has an opportunity to make a play. You know, if he hits that ball, sends it into extra time, but back and forth throughout that first half. And you can see in the scoreboard, nobody really going off, but we saw the ability, the talent on both sides. As soon as there was an attack, someone there was there to cut them down. And, you know, that's why I think a lot of teams like Ardennes Forest, because if you are the better team, you can just wipe out that enemy.
Big thing, though, we didn't talk about it too much, and I know when we looked at the numbers, it wasn't that favored, but there was a distinct difference when you talk about where more caps are coming from, and typically it's when you're pushing towards bunker. So even if it's not that drastic of a difference, LG still had the preferred side to go at the beginning there. So now if you're OpTic...
Did they even touch the flag? I don't even know if they did.
They had one really good opportunity that time where they spawned all 4 out Bell. But the time it took for them to realize all 4 spawned Bell, they probably could have got a pull in that time. But that was the best opportunity I thought they had.
Another opportunity we always see is off the break. Can any team find any, you know, get 3 or 4 down, and then you go, Scump, he's going to push through Bell. One player was watching the flank. That was Cap. He knows it's open. But Scump able to find him, and now the pressure on Luminosity. But once again, it's so hard for both of these, you know, teams to find 2 kills in a row. They're just so good at trading. There's so much talent on both sides. We'll see who is going to find that one opportunity to get that 1-0 lead.
It's the first map that Octane's looked human on at 6 and 9.
Yeah.
And obviously it's been a very slow, conservative game, which can frustrate the best of players.
Nope.
He's going to drop again. That's John finding the kill, but Scump there for the immediate follow-up. One more player is going to be pushing in. He should be caught. That's going to be Slack now. That's able to apply pressure to the base. And he's going to wrap back for a second. Didn't apply pressure quite yet. It looks like, well, you mentioned throughout this, very conservative.
Yeah, nobody wants to
take
a risk. Nobody wants to make a mistake. I feel like if it's a different team, if it's not OpTic, if it's not 0-0, Slack may go for that. Methods, though, he pushes up. He's able to find 2. Maybe this is the opening.
Who did he just snapped on Captain, because we saw him towards Fire Alley.
They know John's live. John's got to get a couple of kills, and here we go. This could be the counter opportunity for Luminosity. The flag, heads up play, it's going to turn around. They know they have to play again. Yeah, John's able to find 3. Methods does find 1. It's J-Cap's turn. Almost gets cut down, but that's a big kill.
That's huge because it would have been streaks for Methods as well, I believe. And he doesn't pick those up.
That starts with John. Finding 3 kills, just sneaking on by, able to control cabin. Methods can't leave. So as soon as you get 1 big play from Methods, you got another one from John.
Keep speaking to the talent of these 2 rosters. Slack still being a nuisance in ruins until finally he'll drop to the AR of Methods, and now
here we go.
Pressure coming in. This might be the chance for OpTic Gaming. J-Cap's going to be in the back. John trying to push in a bunker. He should be caught in a moment. Octane with the kill. 1 more player in the back. It's going to be Cap.
Slack. Yeah, it was a great nade from Slack. He came off spawn.
Cap gets
that weakens 2 players. J-Cap able to find 2. He's still alive in the back. Scump, though, he cuts off the reinforcements. This is the 1-on-1. And Octane wins it. And there we go. Scump finds 3.
Scump with the difference-making play. 3 in a row. Wraps back to find the 4th. And that's going to be the first cap on the board with 2.5 remaining. OpTic finally open up the game.
So now a ton of pressure on Luminosity, but it hasn't stopped in their base. And there we go. Octane, he's working on streaks. You talked about him having a slow start. Well, not anymore.
This could get ugly.
Yeah, this definitely can. Yeah, the streaks are in. He's going to spot a couple off spawn. Formal, you're going to blow up. See you later. Now you have Slack and John. Can they hold off this assault from OpTic? There we go. That's a big nade out of them. Both players, though, so weak. But once again, you just have 2 minutes left, and you can see, look how desperate LG's getting. You have J-Cap and Formal. They're going to overextend. They're going to put pressure on OpTic space.
Octane, though, needs 1 kill here. He needs 1 kill, so he can't go crazy. He just wants to bait in a kill. Not able to connect. Still kind of dancing with John. There's the kill. There's the streaks. And now he's in a position with 1 more player to work with. Formal's got a couple on the other side. Yeah,
Formal flank through cabin.
And he immediately has to cancel what he wanted to do.
Yep. And Formal finds 3, so there we go. This sets up an LG attack.
But remember, you have the streaks defensively to use for Octane. He got the artillery and the fighter pilot. Does he feel obligated to use it here is Luminosity soaring forward. There's the opening gunfight. You think Octane's going to have to maybe call something in. 2 players now down for OpTic. It's going to be on Methods and Grim. It's on Methods. Octane, he's not up. He can't make the play with the streak, so that flag's going to be out. It's John off to the races.
That's a big kill as well. But here we go. This is what we always talk about, that overextension. It's going to be JCap versus Scum. That one-on-one. Can he at least find JCap? No, JCap has Mount now, and that's a big play. Because Scum could have went for the flag. There we go. There's the spot. You can see the pressure coming in from middle. Just trying to go.
He can't get in. He can't get in. But there's a team kill. He can't get the return because the artillery is actually down.
It's returned.
But they spawn out.
It's returned.
Oh, that's right. That's their touch. Their touch. Okay. So now they're actually going to be able to pull it through the artillery. For a second, I thought it was still hot there on the flag, but they get the return and they get the touch. This is the chance to put the game away. Just under 40 seconds to go. 3 players here from Luminosity. Octane, though, with the flag. Scump trying to lead the way. JCap wins a big one-on-one. JCap soars forward, though. Can't win the second. The touch is there. The return should be in. The game-winning score almost there, and there it's through with 20 seconds left. OpTic iced the game.
Yeah, just huge plays from Scump, really. He gets them there, that first flag. He stays alive in bunker when LG have one towards the end of the game, and he's able to win that gunfight, gets the return. A huge play from the King himself, but yeah, Methods 22 and 12. For a long time, Methods was regarded as one of the best Ardennes Forest maps, or players.
Yeah.
And that's a 3-0 for OpTic Gaming. A huge play, a huge win from them.
A convincing 3-0.
Yes.
A very convincing 3-0. You blow them out in the game 1. You dominate them in the game 2. And sure, it's close throughout the game 3, but that speaks more, I think, to the map that is Ardennes Forest and the style these 2 teams were going for once they got that first score on the board. And I think Scump there pounding his chest, that those 3 kills he got is what really opened up the score that finally got through. Because it felt like every time one team, you mentioned it, every time one team had a big play, there was another big moment from the opposition that wouldn't allow something to go in. And it got a little bit frantic there in the final moments, but the streaks from Octane enough to make sure it doesn't go home, and Scump makes the play in backside bunker to make sure that John couldn't get in on the dive.
Yeah, and I just think the summary is right now this OpTic Gaming team just seems to be more of a team, just overall. Now, there was only one player that was switched out for LG, but you heard Slack talk about it. It just, something's different between Octane and Formal. They have a different play style. Online practice hasn't gone too well.
Hasn't.
You know, if they lose to E United earlier this week, this would have been a very tough week for them. So, obviously, they're not going to be happy about losing the OpTic, but it's just a league match. They have a lot of time to get better.
It's more than that.
I know. They have one more week to get better. Then we're going to have Anaheim. You know, LG, I think the goal for them is to just be in the best possible shape for champs. I don't think we expect them to win Anaheim or potentially stage 2 playoffs, depending on how good they get. But for OpTic, I mean, sky's the limit for these guys.
Your victors, OpTic Gaming, and on stage for the PlayStation Instant Reaction, we've got Methods with Jess.
Thanks, Clint. Yeah, so that was a that was a crazy, awesome 3-0 sweep. So why was that such a seemingly easy 3-0?
I think we just brought like a different type of intensity than we did our first 2 matches. Like this match, obviously for Seth and Ian, they wanted to win really bad. As same with Sam, obviously coming from LG. So I think we just brought more hype than they did, and I think. I don't even know. We just stomped them. I don't know.
You definitely did stomp them. Now, before this matchup, I was talking to Crim6, and he said that you really needed to make sure you got your rotations down on Hardpoint. So how did you do that, and how did you prepare for a match like this?
We focused a lot on rotations and scrims earlier today. We scrimmed Rise, which is obviously possibly the best practice you can get in the league. So we just really focused on making sure we had the rotations, because when we have rotations, our team, we have so much gun skill that it's pretty hard to break us. So we just really focused it in scrims, watched VODs, and we just put a lot of time into this first week.
All right, and that clearly shows that you put a lot of time in and everything. And finally, this was a big rivalry, as everyone's been talking about. So how does it feel to just come in and 3-0 your rivals like that?
I really can't relate to like the grudge match as my 3 teammates. Obviously, it's more like me versus Rise, honestly. But I mean, it's obviously a big win. LG, I would say, is a top 3 team in the division. So it's a big win, and it's time for sushi.
All right, great. Well said. Thank you so much for the interview. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. We'll be right back after this quick break. Thank you.
I hope I get invited to sushi.
I heard quick break, and I was like, all right, we're off camera. Good thing I didn't take my headset off. But no, sushi's disgusting. I can't stand sushi.
Yeah, well,
a
lot of people can't stand you.
That's true. Many people at home. But I guess we got a lot that we wanted from that series when it comes to big plays, big performances that we saw from multiple players, but it was not the slugfest we hoped it to be. It wasn't. And when you take a look at it, OpTic looked good. They looked a better team. And do you think that Luminosity need to go back to the drawing board in the sense of that, or is it just minor improvements here and there?
Minor improvements. I just think it's minor improvements, definitely. Again, the core three with Octane, they won a championship already. They know they have the ability to do it. If you can get Formal on a sort of a good path again, he talked about it in that video, right? Just that hunger to win. It's just so much fun when you have three guys who want to do it with you, and they want to continue to get better. I think the good thing for Luminosity, if you have any positives, you don't survive a tough week, but you get out, what, 2-2 because they lost to Rise and OpTic. Like, they just had a tough week, and they played a United. Like, this was their toughest week. The big thing for LG is next week you're going to play teams at that mid-level. You have to get those wins.
Yeah.
Get yourself in a playoff spot.
Well, let's talk Astro Gaming MVP speculation. I think you could have picked multiple players on OpTic Gaming, but it's going to be the kid. Methods. He had an incredible performance in week 1. He's been solid in every series. You saw him getting it done, especially in this game 3. Well, game 2 and 3, where he really went off.
Yeah, even game 1, he had a solid game. Obviously, Octane outperformed him, but it's going to happen when you have two of the world's best ARs, right? It's just that duo, that sort of combo punch is going to be so tough to deal with for a lot of teams.
There were so many tournaments the former OpTic team would win, and you felt like you could pick any one of them to be the MVP. This is another one of those rosters. And that's why, you know, we've talked about on Trading Shots, different shows, we knew they'd be good immediately. How good, that's tough to tell, but with this much talent, like, you can't not be good. It's like, it's impossible. It's just impossible.
It definitely is.
It's like the Warriors, just stacked.
Crap. Yeah, that game later.
You're a Caps fan. Sorry, buddy. We'll be headed to the bars to watch that one. Should be a fun night. But OpTic are able to take it 3-0, and we'll see, because as much as Luminosity had their big test and it'll be a little bit easier next week, it's kind of the opposite for OpTic. You know, you're going to have some big matches next week. We're all can't wait for OpTic Rise.
You have Rise. I think Complexity as well. So it's some big matches for OpTic. You know, they don't want to slow down. I think, obviously, when you make your roster change, every single day you're looking to improve. Yes, they did 3-0, but we saw earlier in Tainted Minds, you know, they had some mistakes. Unilad, there were some, you know, relevant mistakes. And I think what kind of worries me is there was a different energy brought to the stage today. You know, I mean, due to the circumstances, but if they have a slow start, you know, like they did in Unilad versus a team like United or a team potentially like Complexity, that's where the upsets come in. So you have to bring this same intensity every single game, and we've seen teams struggle with that at time to time.
That's true. Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, it's been an incredible week 1 here for Division B, but I do want to take a look at the schedule for next Tuesday when we kick off the second week for the squads. Anything in particular over those 5 matches that really pops out to you?
OpTic, it's their day to have 2 games, so Complexity and, you know, Mindfreak, 2 sort of mid-tier teams, you know, games you expect them to win. Mindfreak has a very tough day against LG and OpTic. This could be a big day for them. Obviously not the best start to the league because they want to be in the playoffs. United Unilad, I think that's a very big one. You know, you talk about that. That could potentially be for the 4th spot.
And just a reminder, maybe to those maybe watching some of these new squads for the first time and want to know what this is all about, it is the Pro League. We're playing for the top 4 in both of these divisions. 8 teams will come together for a $500,000 playoff that'll basically lead right into the big one in COD Champs. Thank you to all those that tuned in today and this week. We've had some incredible matches here for Division B. It has been a pleasure. And wow, what a performance from the OpTic Gaming squad as they close it out with a big 3-0.